Hi everyone, this is Azita. I'm here to talk about parenting issues at the time of coronavirus. We are all at home and situation has been quite tough and brings up different issues in addition to our everyday issues that we have had regarding parenting. I'm going to address a couple of concerns here that were brought up for me by some parents with young children. The issue is parents, when they want to do their parenting, they want to do their best possible way of parenting. Now they're overwhelmed, they have to do so many different things that they were not supposed to do earlier. A lot of parents are still working parents, they're working from home, or they're establishing a lot of other stuff, including applying for unemployment or figuring out what to do. They're super stressed and their plate is fuller than before. So a parent brought this up for me that she has two young children, ages below 8, and these two kids get into fight with each other. They get really frustrated. It's a very small apartment. The person who was helping them was not there again now because of health concerns, and all the load is now on the parent or the parents. And so she was feeling extremely guilty of having more screen time with her children. And I want to address that guilt issue because, as I told her, we are in a crisis situation, and I know having a screen time for children is not necessarily a good thing, and it's not recommended at all, especially on everyday basis. But since we are in a crisis situation, it asks for a crisis appropriate response. Now, screen time can be increased. It's okay if it buys the mother or the father time to regulate themselves, to figure out what to do with this horrible situation we are in, to manage their activities, preparing for future, stabilizing their situation. If it buys that time, it's okay. And it's not going to break their children right now, because what actually breaks the children is the parent lose it and gets extremely sad or depressed or angry. So this way the parent is buying time to calm herself down and have some peace of mind without the children nagging and shouting and screaming, to do what she needs to do. Now, with that said, it's also extremely important to make sure that you can actually take advantage of this screen time. This is your bargaining chip with your children. Now that you're forced somehow to use it a little bit in order to be able to just survive on everyday basis, you can use it as a bargaining chip. Meaning that when you're planning to give screen time, you're not showing it that you're doing it because your child nagged you, right? That's the worst thing that can happen, because that way you give the power to the child. The child indirectly would know that, hey, if I nag, if I shout and scream, if I make my mom's life miserable, she's gonna give in and she's gonna give me the iPad. Versus if you in advance think about it and say, okay, I am going to give this kid screen time, but I'm gonna have something from him to do for me. For instance, if you have a small child, it would be after you clean your toys, everything is on the floor and I want everything to go wherever they need to go, then you will have half an hour. So use it as a bargaining chip and use it in advance to think about what you want from your child. This way, the child is not going to play it against you and have you under his control. You will have control over your children. And your work will be done. It's a negotiation thing. They love iPad, you have the power. That is a recommendation for you. And again, another thing I wanted to mention, the guilt is a killer. On top of everything you have to deal with, my dear parents, having that guilt on top of your head is not helping. And believe me, you're not harming your children. The way, as I told you, if you do it, is the most productive way. And parenting is sometimes good enough. Parenting is extremely important. By itself is excellent. Crisis situation asks for crisis measures, and we are surviving. And this way, if you are not perfect parent, it's okay. And flexibility here is also extremely important, because if we want to have the regimens that we have prior to this crisis, you know, everything should be okay. This time to this time is this time to this time is that. If we are not shifting that schedule that we have prior to this virus, and we want to maintain it because in our mind we think this is the perfect parenting, we are setting ourselves up for failure. If we are not flexible, we're going to lose it. And I'm recommending it in all domains of life after this crisis and in general. When there is a wind that is super strong, if the tree is rigid, it's going to break the tree. I know we have to have a very strong stance, but the tree should be able to move like this. If it's standing and then boom, it's going to come and it's going to break it. Or the same thing with a ship in the ocean. If the ship does not go with the wave that is coming and navigate through that wave, it's going to collapse and break. Or if you're, you know, if you have been swimming in the ocean or surfing and things like that, if the wave throws you, if you don't go with the wave and resist it, if you don't show the flexibility, is going to crash really, really bad. So flexibility also in parenting is super important here. And I hope you can also feel okay with bending your rules. Feel okay. In fact, that's an excellent quality. That's an excellent quality that you can apply in order to survive, and there is nothing wrong with it. In fact, it's a very good parenting. I leave you with that. Hopefully this video has been helpful. Any questions you have, please write me a comment, or you can find me also as azitasach@gmail.com. I'm also active on Instagram, which is under my name, Azita Sach 2020, I guess. I'm sorry if it's not accurate. I'm gonna have a logo here and then tell you how you can reach me. Be well, be safe, and hopefully this will pass soon. Talk to you soon.